Justin Hawkins rides again. Good day to you, it's me, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again, my YouTube channel. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Today, I'm going to be lamenting the death, or indeed the long wasting disease that the guitar solo has suffered over the last 30 years. You might notice that I've been talking a lot about bands on my channel that declare themselves rock bands. Whenever I react to a song that's very synth heavy, my heart sinks a little bit because I know there's not going to be a guitar solo in my heart of hearts. I always listen through to where you traditionally find a guitar solo, which is usually after the second chorus or after the bridge, if there is indeed a bridge. Don't always think bridges are necessary, by the way. That's a different compositional conversation that we can have. And sometimes the guitar solo is the bridge. You know, sometimes that gives you a sneaky way to put a key change to lift the final choruses as they repeat ad nauseum, and everybody goes home singing the song. But they're just nowhere to be found. A lot of people say, "Oh, Nirvana killed the guitar solo." That isn't true. People who say that have not listened to Nirvana. There's guitar solos all over Nirvana stuff. That's a proper rock band. Even when the guitar solo is just like a reprise of the melody that the guy's singing in the verse or chorus, it's still a guitar solo. It's an instrumental break. What would Eagles enthusiasts, how would they feel about Hotel California if we didn't start with this? Brilliant. What about Guns N' Roses? You know. I mean, if it was what's the name? Axl Rose going around going, wah, 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 whoa. Maybe the woe has replaced the guitar solo. I don't want to go on too much about woes, but I think I've already covered woes. I've made my feelings clear on that. There's good woes and bad woes. See my earlier video. There's good guitar solos and bad guitar solos, but I think as a point of principle, where have they gone? What became of them? I always know when we do a single and we sort of submit it for consideration on a radio playlist, like, well, have you considered an edit? And I go, oh, here we go. And I know what's gonna be said. It'll be like, let's get rid of the guitar solo. Well, fuck you. Keep the guitar solo. It's part of the song. It's an important part of any compositional arrangement. Is the fucking instrumental break. Like easy listening music from the 60s, which was all instrumental a lot of the time. You know, things like Enoch Light and the Light Brigade. Stuff when there isn't people singing. Like in the 60s, it would be like you'd have the marimba doing one part, and then the harpsichord would come in and do another bit. Then you'd have a saxophone bit. Then you'd have a guitar bit. And you know, what is the point of learning your instrument if you're never going to be allowed an opportunity to express yourself with it? You know, guitarists weren't designed to do chords in the background while Chris Martin and his producer put synthesizers all over everything. That's not what they're for. I mean, presumably there are some artistic considerations for standing there with a guitar, but it would be nice to hear what he's playing occasionally, wouldn't it? Or at least give him a chance to express himself. Guitarists of the world, unite. Let's get the guitar solo back on the radio. Some people think that all music comes from the blues. And what's the blues? It's blokes with guitars moaning, isn't it? Without the guitars, what is it? It's just blokes moaning. You know what I mean? Disgusts me the way this beautiful, not this particular, although this is beautiful, this beautiful instrument has been overlooked, hasn't it? It's been neglected, reduced to just decoration. People still think guitars are cool because they see people standing there with it low slung. Maybe they've got a cigarette on, but they're not playing it, or if they are, you can't hear it. Rock music has changed, and this is why I always raise an eyebrow when a band like Glass Animals is declared a rock band. That's fucking disgusting. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. There's no guitars on it at all. I mean, I suppose if they're all playing keytars, really low slung keytars, cigarette on, not that anybody should smoke, just like a prop cigarette, maybe with some herbs inside it, not the herb, but you know, one of those ones you used to get from health food shops that doesn't give you cancer. One of those ones. It's basically just some compost, I think, rolled up in a... but just for the look. With a guitar and a headband, maybe. That'd be alright. But yeah, I would love to know what happened to the guitar solo. Thoughts suggest... Why? What was so bad about it? What did the guitar solo ever do to radio stations to upset them? What was it? What do you think happened? Okay, well, maybe the guitar solo imploded when there were guitarists who were doing too many notes and focusing less on a sort of melodic approach to an instrumental break, and it was just becoming, oh, look at me, I'm really, really good at guitar playing, and it became like a sport. You do miss it all when it's like that, but it's nice to have a little flourish occasionally. I suppose it became an obnoxious thing to have to listen to somebody showing off. There are some guitar solos who are beautifully expressive, and it can be an important part of the sonic signature of a band. If you think about Queen, for example, everyone knows Freddie's a hero, amazing, but they're just as distinctive if you only listen to Brian May's guitar parts because of his vibrato technique. It's totally unique. AC/DC, one of the biggest bands in the world. Why aren't people doing guitar solos? AC/DC are. I mean up-and-coming bands. I mean new rock. I'm talking about people that call themselves rock band. What? Rock band? They call themselves rock band. They call themselves rock band, but there's no rock in it. Guitars is what rocks. And I don't think there's enough of them. There's none of them on the radio. Get it on the radio. Put guitar solos on the radio or f*** off, that's what I say. I would love to know your thoughts as to when you think, and perhaps why you think, the guitar went from being like an integral part of stadium rock to a mere accessory that are used in basically photo shoots, video shoots. If you do hear a guitar, it's not as prominent as it used to be, and it certainly isn't playing lead stuff. I don't think I've covered anything from new music where there's actually a guitar solo, have I? I mean, even the Youngblood thing hasn't got a guitar solo, has it? Maybe maybe it has a miniature guitar solo. It doesn't have to be half a song's worth of guitar solo, but it has to be something, you know. The Rolling Stones, guitar solos. Beatles, guitar solos. Led Zeppelin, most of its guitar solos. AC/DC, guitar solos. Aerosmith, guitar solos. John Bon Jovi and his Bon Jovi music group, guitar solos. Thunder, I mean, you probably don't know them as well. The Cult, all this stuff, all the dad rock is guitar solos. Nirvana, guitar solos. Okay, let's have a look at the more recent ones. Metallica, guitar solos in the olden days, not so much now. Don't know any new rock. Oh, Glass Animals. Is there even a guitar there? Coldplay, guitar, but it's right in the distance. You really have to lean in to listen to it, and it's not doing solos. Who else is new and does rock? The Struts, guitar solos. The Exception. I'll put that in this position to signify exception. Who else? This is the Exception finger. Greta Van Fleet, guitar solos. Another exception. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about these two. Maybe that's why everybody talks about these two bands. Maybe that's what separates them from all the other shit that's out there. They're actually trying to do guitar solos. I didn't mean trying to do guitar solos to dismiss them in any way. I applaud it. This is the Exception bands. Other bands? New bands. Say a new band.
Youngblood.
Who? Youngblood? I'm not sure if there's any guitar solos in there. Is there? I didn't hear a guitar solo when I was analysing it, but maybe my head was too far up my own arse to be able to hear it. Who else? Idols. Yeah, okay. Idols is really guitar centric. The solos is definitely dissonant, and it's about. I'm going to include them as a guitar solos band. Bring Me the Horizon is not a guitar solos band. Bring Me the Horizon is a over-processed, lots and lots of effects. It's basically, if there is a guitar in there, it sounds like a computer's played it. Biffy Clyro, yeah, have they got solos though? I'm not sure. There's guitars, but I don't know if there's solos. Okay, I challenge you, listen to the radio. If you hear anything that was released in the last year on the radio, mainstream national radio, and there's a guitar solo on it, I'd love to see I'd love to see it written down here, because that would be something that I could analyse for you. Could have listened to a new song with a guitar solo in it, learn how to play it. That'd take me a long time, wouldn't it? No, learn how to play it, which I'm sure with enough practice I'll be able to pull it off. And then we'll talk about the function that the solo serves and how it survived the edit process before it made it onto a playlist. What became of it? You know, I think when rock is like, it's always been the music of the outsider and the underdog. But at the same time, there's so many people that can relate to that attitude that you end up with, you know, bands that fill stadiums. The problem we've got now is that stadiums are filled with ordinary people who listen to ordinary music, and ordinary music hasn't got guitar solos in it. Rock music has, it's because it used to be played by nerds like myself, but you know, even older than me, they're 80s guys, and they used to sit in their bedrooms and play guitar instead of having social lives. Maybe this is a product of the internet fucking music up for everybody, because everybody can make friends on use filters to make their face look more attractive, so that they make friends in and outside of their computers, and nobody's well, I don't think that's true. A lot of people play guitar. You see them on all of the social media platforms doing really impressive stuff with their guitars in their bedrooms. Why aren't we hearing it on radios, and why isn't that what's filling up stadiums? What's happened to the underdog? The underdog now goes and buys chinos from TK Maxx and can fit in with everybody else, and so the thoroughbred underdog is no longer the guy with a guitar. It's the guy making all the money on NFTs or something like that. I don't know why, but this has stopped being the soul, the oar that allows people to row into adult life when they're like a spotty, long-haired teenager listening to Aerosmith. It's not that anymore. What is this now? What is this? Is it just an ornament? It can't be. What's happened to guitar solos? Please use the comment section to tell me what you think happened. And also tell me if I'm wrong. We both know I'm not. Oh, can you pass that back actually? Shit. I'm just throwing it away in the same way that... Justin Hawkins writes again. Oh, like, subscribe. Cheers.